Hello everyone, this is Lewis Worldwide coming to you from my isolation chamber here in Melbourne, Australia. And it's a bit of a downbeat video, this one, because we've just had this coronavirus thing come out and I know everyone's talking about it and I'm going to talk about it as well. And I'm going to look at some of the numbers, I'm going to look at some of the things that are going on around the world because I have been following this very closely. And I'm going to be telling you a little bit about what's going through my mind of what's happening in this situation. So let's go and check out the numbers. And here they are. So the first thing that you're going to note is that Wuhan, which was where the virus originated in China, it's currently at just over 80,000 cases. And the cases here have been dampening off, they've been slowing down dramatically as the rest of the world is speeding up. Now, the USA prides itself on becoming number one for many things. And I would say, if this was the Olympics, USA would be doing really well right now, but it's not the Olympics. This is a global pandemic. USA is doing shockingly bad. They are steadily climbing the ranks. And I wouldn't be surprised if USA is number one by the end of next week, or at the latest, maybe 2 weeks from now. Now, as you can see, there are some other countries. Italy, of course, has been hit really hard with the pandemic and has got lots of shutdown measures, lots of mandatory isolations of everyone in their homes and not being able to go out to bars, restaurants, or anything like that. Pretty much total lockdown over there. And you can see that the country's pretty close to Italy. So we've got Germany, we've got Switzerland and France and the UK. These are steadily climbing up. So you can kind of even just see in the numbers here how the countries around those infected are becoming more infected over time. Now here we are in Australia. Australia is climbing the ranks very rapidly. So here we are with 1,286. It's an increase of 200 from the day before. So we are over the 1,000 mark. And I think that in the Western countries, we are going to see some really crazy things happening with these stats just because of the culture and the way that people are behaving. So let's go and take a look at how some of the people are behaving. So here is an article which was just from yesterday about Bondi Beach in Australia, in Sydney. And you can see that people aren't really taking this very seriously. They're going out, socializing, being in close contact with one another. Now, just walking down the street yesterday in Melbourne, I saw people sitting outside bars. I literally saw two guys go and high-five each other. I saw another guy behind those guys high-fiving, giving the next guy a shoulder rub. And then when I went for a walk into town and had a look around there, I saw someone walking along. They sneezed, coughed right into their hand. So people aren't really taking this super seriously. I know some people are very serious about it, but there's a large part of the population that I guess just treat it like, okay, well, if we get it, we get it. And, it's not really treating it very seriously. Now, over in the States, they are definitely in the same kind of situation here. So here is a video from the States of people out on spring break. And you can see that these are like huge crowds of people and they are not concerned whatsoever about getting the coronavirus. I think part of this is to do with the Generation Y. Young people just think that they're invincible to this stuff and they just want to go out and have a good time and don't want any restrictions placed on them. And so I think in the Western countries, the situations that we currently see are just going to get much worse just because of how the cultures are. And of course, there are some good things coming out. So there are talks about some various treatments for COVID-19. However, these treatments, in my opinion, these treatments are going to be probably much further down the track than what we think. And some of the treatments, they may help reduce and minimize the impacts of the virus, but they're not going to stop it. So I would not rely on any of these treatments for the near future. And going into this whole thing, I guess it was about last week when I had plans to go to the Grand Prix, and then those plans got cancelled. And it's only once these things start happening that you start to take it a little bit more seriously. However, I still think that we're not really taking it super seriously in the Western world. But then really I stopped myself, and I started to think, well, who in my family, who in my life would be most affected by this? And then it became really apparent how dangerous this virus is for people in my family. So my sister, my dad, my grandparents, my cousin, these are all people that are actually high risk people of, having a serious problem with this virus. And so it is very serious. And, for myself, I know a lot of my family, they might be saying, oh, we're worried about you being in Melbourne. But here I am in my self-isolation chamber. I have a very good life here, and I have a steady stream of passive income coming in. So, if there are people out there worrying about how I'm doing, you really don't need to worry about me. I'm actually in like one of the healthiest states I could be in. I don't smoke. I don't really drink all that much or very often. And I exercise quite a lot. And here I am in my beautiful self-isolation chamber. I have a very comfortable life, so you don't need to worry about me. But you do need to worry about yourself. You do need to take look after yourself and make sure that your pantries do have enough goods in them, so that if you need to self-isolate, if you do catch the virus and you need to look after yourself for a couple of weeks or look after someone else, that you're able to do that without having to, drag your fevered and infected body out into the public and out into the supermarkets. So do look after yourself, and I hope this thing eases out. It's going to be a long run. I think this is going to be something that we see across the whole of 2020. I don't believe it's going to go away anytime soon, unfortunately. So look after yourself, and sending my hopes out to everyone out there. And thanks a lot for listening. I know I've been really slack with these videos, but I thought I'd get one out, just expressing some of my thoughts that I've been having.